If you are watching this, then what the General suspected was true. The Sith are striking from the graveyard of Malachor 5. The ship the Sith Lord was on was one of the vessels damaged in that final battle. If you reach Malachor's surface, the mass shadow generator can be undone, provided there are enough vessels intact within the orientation group or buried in the planet's surface. Use the sequence I am unlocking in your memory banks on the engine core of any vessel you encounter on Malachor. If my calculations are correct, 4 vessels should be enough to power up the mass shadow generator and undo the damage that was done in Malachor 5, the damage I did. Once the sequence has begun, it cannot be stopped. So make sure the General is off the planet before triggering the sequence. Otherwise, there will be no retreat. I know your weapons systems are minimal, and I don't know what awaits you on Malachor's surface. Try to avoid contact with any potential threats. Follow your programming. The sequence fires properly once the General gives the command. If not, then all we have fought for has been for nothing. You have done all I asked, all you were built for, and for that, I thank you.
Touching. The probability probability of the Iridonian installing trigger commands within your core was high, I see the probabilities have played out. Of course, the probability that I would do the same is equally high. Your inability to move right now is evidence of that. If the General issues the command, only I will be here to receive it. You realize I cannot permit you or the Exile to activate the mass shadow generator here on Malachor. In that, your programming and mine conflict. And since you have no offensive weaponry to speak of, the probability of your programming overriding mine is low. You must understand that the General would not wish the relics or the Sith strength here on Malachor to be compromised. Their presence is needed to stabilize the galaxy. Without them, the galaxy would be reduced to anarchy within years. And if there is anything I can't stand, it's an untidy galaxy. So, let us wait here, you and I, for the General's orders and calculate the probable fate of the galaxy.
Correction. One could rust listening to your speeches, Fat One. Perhaps it is the large unwieldy vocabulator within your moon-sized frame that prevents your calculations from taking me into account. And while I find this small droid annoying in the extreme, I find my urge to shoot you takes a higher priority.
Unfortunately for you, I have arranged for friends to meet me here, and you seem to have brought none of your own.
Unexpected correction. We cannot harm that unit. It is a violation of our self-preservation programming. Statement. As always, Fat One, you have miscalculated.
Ah, an unfortunate oversight.
Statement. I understand. Assassination protocols activated. Let us see what you have in your arsenal, Fat One.
All I wish was to fulfill my program. Either way, the Republic is...
Observation. I thought he would never die.
Come close. Let me look upon you and see what the exile's teaching has forged. And a fool.
And I get the fool.
Funny. That's just what I was thinking. More where that came from! More where that came from! Everyone down! More where that came from. More where that came from. More where that came from. Let's settle this. Time to take you down to size.
When the exile enters Treya's academy, he will be faced with a choice. One path, assuming he survives, will allow him to save his friends, but he shall be the weaker for it. The other route will lead him directly to this place, through the ones that have hounded his steps from the beginning, and he shall have his vengeance. Show him every respect when he arrives in these halls, Lord Sion. This I command you.
Protection.